Today on Wisconsin Issues, roads. The first article I'd like to point to in this discussion is Wisconsin facing a long, rough road on state highway funding. This article says that in the next 10 years, we can expect a $1 billion per year gap in our state highway system's funding. It says expected resources are likely to cover only 65% of the prudent highway needs between 2011 and 2012, leaving a total estimated shortfall of $9.93 billion. It says even if all major new projects or capacity-related road widenings are deferred and work limited to basic projects such as pavement and bridge repairs, maintenance and shoulder and signal work, a gap of between 2.1 billion and 3.8 billion would still remain. So even if we don't do any more expanding on our highways, we could still expect almost a $4 billion gap in funding. Ways of filling the funding gap include a fuel tax increase, more bonding, public-private partnerships and tolls. Priority could be given to projects that produce new jobs or economic activity. Congestion could be allowed to worsen above the current state standards. Repair cycles could be lengthened, although that could result in greater future costs. And we could improve our transit service. Carpooling and flexible work hours could, among other alternatives, be used to lower demand for road capacity. The issue is further talked about in this article by the Sheboygan Press, titled, "Why is it so hard to fund Wisconsin roads?" In this article, the author looks at why it's so hard to obtain the funding for roads. The article says that in 2006, the state covered about 22.9% of county transportation costs and 18.6% of municipal transportation costs. Recently, starting in 2012, the state covers 18.4% of county costs and 15.9% of municipal costs. So that means our counties and our cities have less money to put towards our roads. So you may have seen a decline in them locally. It also has a list of ways that we could fix the problem. It proposes raising the gas tax by 5 cents per gallon, switching to a mileage-based system for car registration fees, increasing registration fees on commercial vehicles by 73%, increasing driver's license fees by $20, and eliminating sales tax exceptions on trade-ins. As the article continues talking through the issue, it says that none of these things are happening right now, and it's mostly politics is the reason. It goes even further to show other ways that we could potentially fund our roads. This way, tollways, probably isn't popular with many Wisconsinites. I've heard many of us complain to great lengths about the toll systems when we enter Illinois, and I don't think that's something we'd like to bring up here, personally. Other options we have are auditing the state highway program to see if there's places where we could cut and save money. This was almost going to happen, but our governor vetoed that in the last budget.